everyone, I'm Annie Cooper here with Chris, founder of Webjoint, an all-in-one cannabis software which has had over $100 million in transaction and was recognized by Forbes in the tech space. So how did you get started with this and the idea behind it?
Yeah, so it started back in 2014 when my partner and I essentially were making websites for anybody that needed websites. And then I had one client that was a big dispensary in San Fernando Valley. Ended up making his website, found out there was a lot of pain points, and realized that the entire industry didn't have any software solutions. So that was really the drive behind pivoting and focusing on cannabis specifically. And, here we are today in 2018 where, it's legal now and there's infrastructure. And little did we know is they were actually going to mandate software for,
Wow.
Each licensee needs to use software to send the data to the state. So, yeah.
So previously you weren't in the cannabis industry. What made you kind of move into it? Did you see that as kind of the next big thing that you wanted to do something different with it?
So it was one of my cousin's friends that actually introduced me to the dispensary owner. And at the time I did, I was a consumer myself, but wasn't really, never went to a dispensary. And once I met that dispensary owner and I identified those problems that he was having, it was more so, I seen the opportunity right then and there when I went on Weed Maps and, just try to see any retailer that had a website, and nobody had a website. Everyone had like a Yahoo or Gmail email listed on their profile. So that's where I knew that, they're all doing things by pen and paper, and it's not going to be that way much longer.
So explain the whole concept of Webjoint.
So Webjoint is an all-in-one software solution for cannabis retailers that allow the retailer to manage everything from their point-of-sale, inventory management, metric integration to keep them compliant with the state and reporting. And then we also are launching a new brand platform. So it allows manufacturers, which currently in the state of the industry cannot sell directly to the end consumer without a retail license. So what we're doing is we're allowing these brands to accept orders on an online ordering platform and send that order to a nearby retailer. So now our entire business model is, use our retail software, and you're not just going to get everything you need to run your business. You're also going to get increased revenue from brands that are doing their own marketing. To my family, like, hey, you should try CBD tinctures and, this, that, and the other, anything that could potentially help. And I think that's the reason why they say our industry is going to be so big is because, currently if you're working within the industry and how large it is, it's typically because, you're in the industry and the connoisseurs, this, that, and the other, but there's still the older, 40-year-old soccer moms, the elderly, older people that have not yet experimented with it. Maybe they smoked a joint, when they were 18, but now it's at a point where they know it's legal. They know that that they would like to try something, but they might not know the type of product or anything like that. So as far as breaking the stigma, it's
just about continuing what you're doing, I guess, and showing people that this works. You need our software to increase your sales with what you're doing if they're in that industry.
Yeah.
Because where do you think the cannabis industry is going over time?
In what sense?
Kind of in more people using it, more people trying to develop either products for it, because CBD is really popular right now, developing products for it, or maybe someone wants to develop some type of software. Where do you think it's going? Do you think it's just increasing over time?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Where the industry, I see it going is, right now retailers and dispensaries have the hype, right? As far as that goes, just like you said, you seen the MedMen, you checked out MedMen out here in Los Angeles. How I feel about it is, if I drink Bud Light and I want a Bud Light, I'm not going to want to personally go to the liquor store, the Apple Store of liquor. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm just going to head over to Chevron and go pick it up. So that's what we've been seeing with the data coming back through our point of sale is consumers are typically ordering branded products, especially when it comes to when ordering from a delivery service. So, brick and mortar locations will typically do average tickets of about $60 an order. Retailers will do about $98 an order. And the delivery services will do about $98 an order. And the reason why that is because the consumers that are purchasing from delivery services want to know what it is they're purchasing before it gets to their door. Because you can't actually go to a delivery service and check out the product prior. Right. So with us identifying those trends that are happening with the data coming through our point of sale, we've seen, where I see it going is retail is eventually going to sizzle out all the hype that these dispensaries have. Yeah. And, once it's a nationwide thing and everyone, just like how I might like Bud Light, then, everyone will have their go-to brand. And once it's at that point, they're not going to care about the Apple Store of weed when it's, I just want my pack of Lowell pre-rolls.
And you guys are trying to make delivery obviously more possible. Do you think it's going to be eventually in the far future kind of like how Amazon is, where you can order all these things on and it's just delivered to you in 2 days? Do you think it's going to go that way?
So I don't know about it being delivered in 2 days, but where I do see it going is more so like the Prime Now model. So, you can order Prime Now here in Los Angeles and have Amazon at your door within 2 hours. Right. So that's essentially what we're doing with our brand platform is we're decentralizing the Amazon model for any brand that wants to be their own Amazon. So, think of a brand, let's just say Stizzy, for example. Stizzy's a big brand out here in California. The problem is they cannot sell directly to the end consumer, but with us having delivery services that use Webjoint throughout California, we have deliveries in Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego. Now you can order from this brand's website, and let's say if I'm ordering in San Diego, then we'll send that order to the delivery service in San Diego. So similar to Amazon, if let's say I go to my favorite brand's website and I purchase 2 products, but each one of those products is coming from a separate retailer. Then similar to how when you order on Amazon and you're ordering multiple products and they might be coming from different warehouses, it'll give you separate shipping options. Things like that. So that's essentially what we're building for brands. So the Amazon style type of purchasing in cannabis is definitely coming, and it's already here. There's companies like Ease, Get Nug, I Heart Jane that are essentially marketplaces. They don't actually have a retail license, but what they do is they raise millions of dollars and they put up billboards throughout the city and just do massive amounts of marketing, and then take these orders online and then send them to retailers that actually have a license. Yeah,
how did you market for this? Was it more like Facebook ads? Was it Google ads? Or was it actually just getting out there and telling everyone about it?
So my background is search engine optimization.
Okay, so you know a little bit about it.
Yeah, and that's literally probably been the biggest godsend for us, is because you can't do Google advertising in the cannabis space, even with technology. Even though we have software, we don't touch the plant. We can't advertise on Google. We can't advertise on Facebook, Instagram.
Really?
We've tried, and it gets rejected every time. Wow. And that's the problem that everyone has in the industry.
Tough.
So if even companies like ours that just make software can't advertise, it becomes a game of being very strategic and finding ways of getting organic traffic. So search engine optimization has definitely been one way that we've done it. We have partnerships with consultants throughout California, consultants as well as insurance agents and anybody who we can work with to have them send leads to us and we send leads to them. So it's kind of like a referral type of agreement there. And just with us doing it and being in California, making software since 2014 and being one of the first ones doing it here, we got a good amount of the market, and it's just and it's just been a lot of word of mouth. So people will typically look at like their competitors and then go to their competitor's website and see that their competitor's website's built on Webjoint. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's been a lot of the ways that we've been.
And you also got some investors' attention. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Do you think that was a really big step in kind of helping the business grow?
Oh, definitely. It was definitely necessary, especially with us locking it down before 2018, because this was the year when all the regulations dropped. And, we actually just had new regs that dropped. The final proposed regulations dropped literally last night. So, we had to redevelop a lot of functions in our software, a lot of things in the inventory management, the way that driver inventory worked, and everything that was necessary to do within a 1-year time frame to make sure that we can keep our clients in compliance. So that's been one of the hardest things, is making sure that we can develop fast enough and make sure all our ducks are in a row, and the money definitely helped us do that. So we have a full-time development team, 12 full-time developers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and before that, it was just, our CTO, and I would help here and there. And
so going off of that, when did you think that it was time to expand, to start hiring people? Because of course you need that to have different jobs getting done when you have a big business that you're trying to grow. So when was it time to start hiring more people to help out?
Well, when we started, it was my partner and I, and then we hired our director of sales, Daltrey Martin, back. It's been over 2 years now. So when we first started, and we were self-sufficient, and we were just doing things on our own with our own revenue and with resources that we had, it was my partner, myself, Daltrey, the director of sales, and Jonathan, who is our lead tech.
Okay.
So we had them focusing on as far as onboarding, training, taking phone calls. Daltrey does all the demos. And, we knew that we needed to expand, and not more so on the team here. So now we have 7 here in LA. Mm-hmm. We have our director of sales, Daltrey. We have Jonathan, who's our lead tech. We have Bree, who's our customer success manager. We have another Jonathan Wagodsky, who is our content guy. So he works on our blog, things like that. Mm-hmm. And Antonio, who's our director of marketing, and then my partner and myself. But we have 12 full-time developers that are overseas. So
that's amazing. Yeah. So one thing I struggle with, because I have a business also called Fitcessory, where I have kind of fitness and yoga accessories, and I always struggle with whether to get out there and do demos, get in front of people, or focus more on the back end side of it and do more SEO or more ads or more writing blogs and things like that. What do you think is more important? Do you have to have a balance between the two, or which one would you say you focus on more?
I think in this industry, what a lot of people focus on is Instagram, even though Instagram will get people shut down. It's more so a lot of Instagram, but not Instagram ads. It's like influencer marketing.
Right.
So finding influencers who can post about your product because of the fact that you can pay the influencer, but you can't pay Instagram for an ad.
Right.
And, doing a lot of SEO and organic things. But one of the things that's really helped us is we host a lot of our own events. So we actually hosted the first inaugural California Cannabis Awards
awesome.
Right by the Staples Center at
How'd
Novo Theater. So yeah, it was May 18th of 2018. We had more than 800 in attendance.
Wow.
We nominated tons of different companies for everything from like best lawyer, best brand, best distributor, best retailer.
So you have lawyers there as well.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Definitely,
So
yeah. We're actually throwing another event at the beginning of the year. It's a New Year's kickoff. Date's not final yet, but it's going to be Webjoint, Frontera Law. So Frontera is a well-known law firm in the cannabis space. They actually came in second place at our CCA Awards.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and then we're also throwing it with one of our clients, Cali Plug. So it'll be like a 3-way event. And what we try to do with these events is literally just bring people together, because what we've seen is the industry is very large, but it's small at the same time. Like if you start attending these events, then it becomes like a small little city where like everyone kind of knows everyone, and you know how to get to certain people because of that face-to-face relationship that you have with them. So that's one of the things that we try to focus on is throwing different events, have different themes for the event. So like our New Year's kickoff, we're thinking of kind of structuring around the new regulations that just dropped yesterday and what to expect, and
so people are aware and everything.
Exactly.
That's interesting. So what is your day-to-day that you focus on to try to grow your business and get to the next level and things like that?
So before we grew the team and hired an entire development team to focus on pushing the software forward, I was wearing a lot of different hats. So I would do sales, I would do demos, I would go meet with clients, I would do customer success and support. And now my role is more so changed to just big picture visionary things. So like I just went to the East Coast. I came back from New Jersey and New York
to expand. Is that correct?
To expand, yeah. So I found some representatives that can help us on the East Coast, that can represent us on the East Coast and help us, whether it's doing demos, locking down deals, and then really just meeting anybody out there that can give us or give me the ideas that I can bring back to my team and say, hey, here's what I've identified. How do we put this in place? So that's been more so my role. and obviously fundraising and things like that.
Yeah, the fundraising was a big part. Tell me a little bit about that. How much you raised and everything like that.
So we've raised to date. We initially raised from our landlord here $55,000 when we first started back in 2015. Became self-sufficient off that $55,000, and my partner and I were looking for funds. We were looking to do a large raise, and it was before 2018, before a lot of money started flowing into the California market, because a lot of investors, a lot of VCs were still hesitant in putting money in because of the fact that they didn't know what was going to happen in California.
Right. Yeah.
So we were spending a lot of our time looking for investors, and it got to the point where I told my co-founder, we can spend all of our time and focus on trying to find an investor, or we can not lose focus on our actual project and what we've built, and continue to build out the platform and make sure that the software is the best that it can be, and do what we can do with our current resources. Because if worst case scenario we don't get funding, and then we wasted all that time looking for investors and we didn't focus on the product. So
it's true, you put your focus elsewhere and it maybe doesn't work out.
Yeah, exactly. So what was cool is we actually got a lot of calls from the Pennsylvania market when the Pennsylvania application process was online. So we got tons of clients calling us for demos from Pennsylvania, and one of them was actually our current investor who gave us the $1.5 million last November. Wow. So what happened was they were trying to apply for a license in Pennsylvania, had $5 million ready to deploy for a retail operation out there. It fell through, and then they called us back saying, "Hey, are you guys looking for funds?"
Oh, wow.
So it was literally right around the time where we said, we're just going to put our head down and focus on the product. And we became self-sufficient off this small $55,000 investment that we got. And from there, we raised $1.5 million from Red Tape Ventures, who's a VC company that is primarily focused on cannabis tech. And we're looking on closing another $3 million round by January or February.
That's amazing. So when you have these investors involved, do you have to give away a certain percentage of your company to them?
Yeah.
Is it a large percentage or not very large for what you're doing?
I think the valuation that we raised our last round out, it was definitely what we wanted, and what we feel was true value.
That's awesome.
So we raised our last round at $15 million. So we gave up about 10% for that round, which is, in my opinion, as long as my partner and I are comfortable with, what we're giving away, and it's not more so. It's not about the equity, because you obviously would want 1% of $1 billion than 100% of $1 million. Mm-hmm. It's more so just making sure that when you do these deals with investors, that you remain in control,
right?
And you don't give too much control away, because that's, especially depending on the people that you're getting in bed with, you don't know, what their intentions may be.
That's true.
But we're lucky that the Red Tape guys, that the guys that we work with, our investors are great. We love them, and it's been really, really awesome to work with a team like Red Tape that has our best interest in mind as well.
So do they have a say in the content or whatever you put out there, or is that kind of all up to you and they're just helping you with the funding for it?
Yeah, they're helping us with the funding. They understand that they have full faith and trust in what me and my partner are doing.
Okay.
And that's exactly one of the things is more so than investing in the companies is investing in us as business owners and leaders. So their whole thing is, we just want to make sure that. This is the words from Michael, the CEO of Red Tape, is we want to make sure that we're providing anything to you that makes you the best leaders that you can be. So
that's amazing. So what are your next steps for the company? Is it just kind of expanding into each state as, of course, it becomes more legal in different areas and things like that?
So our primary focus in 2019 is command and conquer in California. As far as,
so you think it's important more to take over one area first?
Oh, for sure.
Then go into the next.
Definitely.
Okay.
With the next round of financing that we're raising, we are planning on focusing on the New Jersey market, with any market that has infrastructure for delivery, because what we've seen that our bread and butter is we make great software for cannabis deliveries.
Yeah.
So we have a few brick and mortars that use our software, but we have about close to half of the operating licensed deliveries in California currently. And, just like I said, that entire brand to consumer issue with manufacturers not being able to sell directly to the end consumer, the 9 times out of 10, especially when I want like a new Stizzy cartridge, right? Personally, I don't want to have to go drive 3 miles or 4 miles in LA to go pick it up, because that could mean 30 minutes there and back.
Yeah.
So, I typically want it delivered at my door. And with us having the delivery market, we're starting to work with some of the largest brands in California. So we're working with Moxie, we're working with Stizzy, and a good handful of other ones. And what we're doing is making it easy for them to put money behind marketing campaigns. Yeah. So, just like when it goes back to what you were saying about educating the consumers and how you break that stigma, brands are going to be a big factor in making sure that happens, because they're they're brands. They know how to create that marketing. They know how to get a message to the consumer, whether it's the 40-year-old soccer mom or the 18-year-old cannabis connoisseur. Uh-huh. So, with that being said, right now, manufacturers and brands aren't putting actual, marketing dollars behind big campaigns the way that, retailers do. That's probably why you've seen like huge MedMen billboards all over the city. Yeah. That's because retailers, of course, they're gonna market, because they, if a consumer sees that billboard, they can actually buy from MedMen. But you can see a Stizzy or a Kiva or a Candescent billboard for any brand, and you still have to know what dispensary to go find that at. So there's that huge hurdle. Is like, okay, I see a Stizzy, billboard on the 405 freeway, but now where do I find it? How can I get it delivered? Mm-hmm. There's platforms that will help you find where these brands are located, but then the problem still occurs. I'm having this problem as well, personally, as a consumer myself. You order from a delivery service, their menu will be listed on Weed Maps or something like that, and the next thing I know, the delivery service is calling me back saying, "Oh, hey, we see that you ordered this flavor cartridge and this flavor cartridge, but that's actually out of stock." You know what I mean? And the thing is, with us, if the delivery services are using our point of sale, then we know how much inventory they have. We know if they're out of stock. We know when they update their menu.
So it makes it way easy for their consumer. Way easier to track everything, to get everything.
So now if Stizzy wants to put up, or Moxie wants to put up a billboard on the 405 freeway, or anything, any marketing that they may already be doing or haven't done yet. Now they can say, go order online on my website, and actually track their ROI, because now they can log into Webjoint and see, oh, okay, before I even put up this billboard on the 405 freeway, I'm going to run a report to see how much inventory is within a 5-mile radius. Got it. So now if they run that report and say, oh, hey, we're low on blueberry cartridges in this area, and we're about to put up a blueberry cartridge billboard, then you can be more strategic with your marketing, and then also see, after the billboard's up, how many sales you're actually pushing to retailers. Because you can see, oh, hey, today I took 2,000 orders on our website, and you can see that, which retailers they went to. And another problem that we're solving for the manufacturers is, because the retailer is using our software, we can actually give them live inventory count to how much of their product is left at the retail location. Wow. So as a manufacturer, they're calling these retailers once a week and trying to, find out how much of their product they have left, if they need to order more. So now they can see, oh, hey, I helped this retailer move 100 cartridges off the shelf today, and now I can call them and get another wholesale order, because they know that they helped them move product quicker than they normally would have. Nice.
And you created your own website, didn't you? Did you have help with that, or did you start the creation process yourself?
With the Webjoint website?
Yes.
So when we first started, we designed everything ourselves.
You did? Wow. Yeah. How long did that take to design the entire website?
I would say a few months.
Couple months,
yeah.
It was probably tough, and you, of course, added to it over time.
Yeah, we added to it, and then recently we hired a firm that's done our most recent one. I don't know if you've seen like all the animations and things that we have on our current website, but so we've one thing that we do well is we understand what good design should be, and how the user experience of our website should look, and we know how to find the talent that can actually get that type of outcome on the website. So. We've gotten tons of feedback from our new website that we actually launched on the 27th of September.
Oh, wow.
And it just blows everyone away. Like they're trying to figure out who designed it and how they can get something similar. So
that's awesome. Yeah. And can you pay on that website specifically with do you have Apple Pay, PayPal, credit card? How can people pay on that?
So as far as our clients' websites,
yes,
everything's cash on delivery or cash on pickup.
Okay, cool.
But we are integrating with a company called Alt36.
Uh-huh.
Alt36 is based out of Tempe, Arizona. They do cashless payments that are on the blockchain. So
Perfect.
They're essentially utilizing Dash, which is one of the largest cryptocurrencies on the market, as the currency that's backing all of the transactions. So now somebody, once we're integrated with Alt36 by the Q1 of 2019, essentially a consumer can go to any of our clients' websites and place an order. So they are connecting their bank account.
Got it. Okay.
So it's not
makes it easier.
The problem with debit debit and credit cards is Visa and MasterCard are 100% against it. So anybody that says that they can they can take debit cards and credit cards are essentially finding a way of signing up the dispensary not as a dispensary merchant, but they'll say that they're a flower shop, or what I mean. So they'll also find ways to process the payments offshore and then bring it back. And
so that's going to change pretty soon, I'm assuming, right? In the next couple of years, do you see that changing?
I don't know about the Visa and MasterCard situation, but I know that past, what Alt36 is doing, even though everything is like ACH transfers, there's some people that are using e-checks, different forms of cashless payments to get this problem solved. The thing is retailers still have a problem getting bank accounts.
Yeah.
So even if, you can provide a solution like this, now, okay, if you can get them a solution where they can accept cashless payments, the thing is, okay, where do I send this money? I don't have a bank account to send it to. Like, we're working with some of the largest brands in California that literally have, airport hangars.
Really?
Full of cash.
Wow. So that's a tough thing to get past. It's amazing what you've done with all these different little struggles with that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming that'll change when, it becomes more common. In every state is getting legalized more. So I'm assuming you guys are waiting for that to happen.
Yeah. And then, what's awesome about it is we're the core of every retail business. Like, we are the software that runs their entire operation, tracks their inventory. And then from that point, we like to find companies like Alt36 and Toucan, who's another one of our integration partners that handles, for example, every time a consumer orders on a retailer's website, that order will be dispatched automatically to a driver's phone. Now the administrator can see where their drivers are, track their mileage, but we don't have to build that software. We just integrate with somebody that has it.
Right.
And now it's seamless as if it is built into Webjoint.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you are a young entrepreneur yourself. What would you give? What advice would you give to other young entrepreneurs that might want to start their own business or something within the tech space, things like that?
The advice that I would give is just to, stay positive and to do it. One thing that I've noticed with my own career is everything that I've put my energy towards, whether, it was my first project, second project, third one, or now, with what I'm doing with Webjoint, it's only gotten better every time. And even any failures that you might or any hurdles that you may face along the way, you can look at them in a negative way, and if you do that, you're going to get negative results. It's just that simple.
Mindset.
It's like, it's literally like the law of gravity. Like, what goes up must go down, must come down. So, just put your full passion towards it and put your energy towards it, and keep a positive mindset, and the rest will happen the way it needs to happen. And you may think that you're trying to get what you want, but the universe will actually give you what you need instead. And you have to be open-minded enough to realize when that happens.
I like that a lot. So where can they find you on social media?
So you can find Webjoint on Instagram. It's webjoint.software. My personal Instagram is webjoint.ceo. You can also find us on our website, which is www.webjoint.com. And that's about it.
Well, thank you so much. Again, this is Annie Cooper. I'm here with Chris. Thank you so much. This will be on a podcast as well.